Hello and welcome to a new episode of Short Track is Paul Crichidenis. Today we're taking a look at Stephen Dubois, the Bomb, the great Canadian skater who has represented Canada for a very long time since the 2015-2016 season in the Junior World Championships in Sofia, in the very heart of Bulgaria. He won a bronze medal of 500 meters there. That was the beginning of his career, and he went on later to become one of the most decorated Canadian short track speed skaters in the history of Canadian short track. Such a great skater, has just insane resume. 12 times four continent medalist, 3 times four continents champion, 10 times world championship medalist, 6 times world champion, 5 times Olympic medalist, and 2 times Olympic champion. And he is the Canadian national record holder in the men's 500 meter. He sets that national record right here. One title he didn't quite cap off yet, though, is the Crystal Globe. He has been very interested in that for the last 2 seasons, couldn't quite cap it off, but I think he will be looking for that in the next upcoming seasons. But for now, we're going to break this video into 2 parts. We're going to watch his 500 meter right here, his preferred distance, and then we're going to go on to the 1000 meter. He does the double here at the World Championships to win his first and second and essentially 4 world titles that weekend. He was in the form of his life, Stephen Dubois. So we're going to see what he does so well. Obviously, this kid is very explosive off the line, very strategic, very smooth and quick coming out of the corners. He's got great energy management and great strategic and technical timing. And he's just a skater who has gone through a lot of interesting stuff throughout his career. So I'm going to show you what all that I mean right here in the men's 500 meters semi-final right here. As I've said, in this race, he goes on to the national record. So it's obviously something that never has happened before by a Canadian skater to set time as fast as he did right here. So we're going to see what he does so well. He explodes off that line. So he's this very tall skater. He takes longer strides than skaters shorter than him. But Stephen Dubois, just very long, very quick, very explosive strides off that line. He gets around Steindes, anyways, he coming out of the first corner. Just a great start right here. Stay to the block right here, a bit tighter here. So Steindes doesn't set up a very surprise move at the front early on in the race. But Stephen Dubois can ignore that right away and takes his corner entry very wide. Look at that. Look at how wide he goes. Look at how focused he is. Taking the corner entry, just explodes out that corner. Look at this position here. Right, left leg right here. Very beautiful coming out of that corner. Extracts a lot of explosive pressure. He's so quick and very accurate as well. His strides. Carrying so much speed. Look at very long, very quick, very explosive strides here. Great timing. He just carries the speed very smoothly here with 45 kilometers per hour already into this race. And takes his corner exit right here. Does it so beautifully. Great timing. Look, hands need where it needs to be. Ideally not above the head. He does it so well. It's nice crossovers here, taking his corner entry, 2 hands behind the back, 8.41 lap times, carrying the speed very beautifully, already dropping the field behind here with 3 laps to go. Still very focused, very calm, very composed, carrying the speed here. Also, one thing you might have noticed that he wears 2 different boot bands, something he does to kind of maximize the efficiency of how comfortable he feels on the ice. See, 2 hands behind the back, entering this corner right here, 54.6 kilometers per hour, insane amount of speed here. Not 100% sure how accurate the speed measure is, but it's still super fast. And once again, nothing changing. He's taking his corner entry very explosive, very quick. 2 hands behind the back, entering this corner again. Carrying the speed very beautifully, very efficiently with 2 laps to go. 8.07 lap times right here. Just very explosive, so fast. Almost losing his footing a bit. The ice breaking down a bit. But he controls that so well. Still very smooth, very relaxed at top speed here. Again, 2 hands behind the back, entering the corner, 52.1 kilometers per hour, getting insane amount of speed here. Very comfortable corner entry. It's just a little bit wide, but handles it very well. Still in great control here, very smooth in the straightaways. Again, takes a really nice corner entry. Again, 2 hands behind the back, carries speed very efficiently, very beautifully. Here with 1 lap to go, 8.24 lap times. See Denis Nikisha carrying more speed here, 8.03. He's carrying more speed, drafting behind Stephen Dubois. He can make a pass here, but Stephen Dubois technically very hard to pass because he utilizes his body build very well coming out of this final corner. Watch how he holds off Denis Nikisha right here. Look at how tight he goes, hooks up that block. Look here, kind of his legs right here, leg length, holds the outside, and his body position coming very quickly here, holding up the inside. There's nowhere for Denis Nikisha to be in. Takes very beautiful corner exit, and he goes on to win this race, the semi-final here. Sets a national record for Canada, the men's 500 meter, 39.69. Just an unbelievable race. Great race by Stephen Dubois. He goes on and wins the A final as well. But this is not the race that I wanted to show you. This is the race that I more wanted to show you here. The men's 1000 meter A final in the World Championships of 2025. See 7 skaters in this race. So obviously winning this race would definitely make you feel good. Stephen Dubois, as I've said, coming into the form of his life. He comes here and wins this men's 1000 meter A final to cap off a 3rd world overall title before the 4th one that he won later in the men's relay. But yeah, such a great race right here. Gonna show you the racer that he is, kind of the all-around package that this kid offers and how strategic he is. He's here in lane position number 2. He's 7 skaters in this one, you know, all class, all quality, anyone can win this. Stephen Dubois explodes off the line right here, same thing he does on the 500. But he doesn't pick up the speed right here. He just leads from the front because he doesn't want to be trapped in the back, taking advantage of his lane position here in the men's 1000 meter A final. See his teammate William Danger right here. Again, this is the World Championship A final. This is an individual event. Everyone wants to win for themselves, not for the nation, only for the nation, but also for themselves, as this is an individual event, as I've said. Stephen Dubois coming out of the first corner, taking a look. Obviously, he knows that it's going to be William Danger who's going to fight over his shoulder. He lets him pass right here early on. 2 Canadians taking control of the front, but Stephen Dubois is trying to race for himself, for his own individual victory. So we're going to see how that also works right here. Of course, throughout the seasons, the last couple of seasons, Stephen Dubois was kind of in the shadow of William Danjanu, who's kind of just breaking through the ranks. So he really had to go through a lot to kind of get this moment right here in the men's 1000 meter A final. He was clocking in with such a form here as he takes a look over his shoulder to see Galiakmatov, preventing him from making a move up the inside. Seeing very smooth, very calm. Galiakmatov, great timing right here. After Stephen Dubois looked in front of him, he goes with a late inside pass early on here in the race. Stephen Dubois, very calm, even among this chaos. Look, this is chaos right here, but he's still very calm, very composed. This is not easy to achieve. This is racing. In order to be a racer here, you've got to be able to handle this kind of pressure early on in the race, because there's just so much congestion, so many skaters making a move. And watch here, this is very interesting. So Galiakmatov and Danjinu are busy dealing with Sun Long right here. The gap opens a bit on the inside. Galiakmatov makes the pass here in William Danjinu. Stephen Dubois tries here not to lose his position, tucking in behind both of these skaters. 2 hands behind the back, very calm. Arion doesn't rush it, keeps his position. Sun Long moving on the outside here. He's going to move ahead of Galiakmatov. But Dubois still calm, still composed. 2 hands behind the back, taking his corner entry very comfortably here with 7 laps to go. William Danjinu, he dropped to position number 3 here. Galiakmatov still in control of the front here with 45.5 kilometers per hour. See 7 skaters here. If you're in the back, you really have no chance. Even at this point of the race, you're really going to be top 4 positions. And great timing here by Stephen Dubois. This is really great timing. William Danger is a really tall skater, so he's just a slightly bit late with a right skate coming into the corner. Stephen Dubois is a shorter skater. He takes quicker strides. His shorter skates got shorter legs, so he takes really quicker strides. And William Danger coming into this corner, he capitalizes over that to take an inside pass here on William Danger early on in the race. Very clever timing, very strategic, but also technical timing. And he does so well right here. Great pass by Stephen Dubois and goes into position number 3 here. Tries to regain control of the race, and right here, he does something very interesting. These skaters didn't expect him to make a pass right away. He takes so much pressure coming out of this corner, beautiful corner exit there, and makes a double inside pass while the pace is still slow. I say slow, but 43.6 kilometers per hour. He makes a double inside pass to regain control of the lead. So this is something very interesting that Stephen Dubois did here. As you've seen in the beginning of the race, 1, 2, and 3 skaters right here all were juggling and tried to take control of the lead. Galiakmatov, Sun Long, William Danjinu. But he didn't do that right away, Stephen Dubois. He waited for the skaters who wanted to take the lead early on in the race, to do what they want to do, take the lead however they want. And he's going to wait for them to stop making these moves early on, stays composed and kind of calm among the pressure, among the congested field, among the traffic. And then he goes to take the lead after that himself, which makes a really clever, really great timing by Stephen Dubois. So it's a double inside pass after sitting an inside pass on his teammate to regain control of the lead here with around 40 seconds into the race. Looks over his shoulder, taking a bit wide entry. Going to that straightaway here into this corner. So take a look at the skaters behind him with 8.70 lap times, burning a little bit here. But in this race, you've got to burn. In this race, you can't go slow. You can't conserve energy, really. He's very focused, very composed here in the lead. Takes his corner entry not very wide, so he can try to scare defensive track pattern. Help these kids gonna bunch up to get into each other, so he can defend his position here in the lead. His defensive deep track pattern very quick coming out of this corner. Galiakmatov can't keep up a bit here. Soon Long going around the outside. He needs to make the pass here in order to deliver the gold medal for the home crowd. He has to win this race. And that's why he's so in a hurry to take the lead here. Because he was started in the back. His lane position made him start in the back. And right here he's forced to tuck in behind Stephen Dubois, position number 2. He looks over his shoulder and sees that Soon Long stopped moving around the outside. And then there's no one who's making a pass here. He starts to take his corner entry very comfortably, 9.07 lap times here. Very calm, very composed, takes his corner exit very comfortably, trying to pick up the speed a bit so he can trap the skaters behind him, as when you are the front, you are the pacemaker. So you really can't afford to be slow at that point of the race in the World Championship A final men's 1000 meters. Stephen Dubois, 8.73 lap times, picking up the pace here with 3 laps to go. This William Dangel making a quick inside pass on the little Galiakmatov, taking position number 3 here. 48 kilometers per hour the speed here with 1 minute into the race. Stephen Dubois, watch here, very calm, very composed. Coming out of these corners, it's a nice defensive deep track pattern here to hold the skaters behind him. And look at how focused he is. You know, he's locked in. He knows, and he knows he can win this race. And look at that left leg. How beautiful is his form right here. Very explosive, very quick. Works so hard to get that corner entry right here, fighting for this corner. 2 hands behind the back, entering this corner. Soon Long slipping a bit here. 8.60 lap times and 8.52 lap times by William Dangenu here with the men's 5,000 and 1,000 meter A final World Championship. That's so fast. William Dangenu tried to sneak himself in there. Like, how did he do that? And somehow gets ahead of Soon Long here with 48.8 kilometers per hour. Here with 1 lap to go, see William Dangel still has to make one more pass, but he burned a lot of energy making that pass early on to kind of get in front of the lead, and now he had to pass both Guy Akhmetov and Soon Long to get in position number 2 here behind Stephen Dubois with only 1 lap to go. He burned a lot of energy. Stephen Dubois knows that that is the only way to race against William Dangel because he's so tall. When he takes control of the front, he really utilizes his height and his technical ability very well. He becomes nearly impossible to pass. Therefore, Stephen Dubois knows what he has control of, knows what he can do here at top speed in order to hold off William Dangel. He tries this strategy out and he kind of executes it in such a masterclass way and wins this race. We're going to take a look at this final lap right here. Stephen Dubois very calm, very composed, 8.70 lap times, 2 hands behind the back entering the corner. William Dangel still has to make this pass in order to win the race. But Stephen Dubois taking his corner exit a bit tight, so William Dangel doesn't come around the inside, forces him to come around the outside. Look at the difference in stamina here. William Dangel fighting so hard, very tired, as well as Stephen Dubois, but he had raced a more cleverer race. He had to burn a little bit less than William Dangel. See the lap time, 8.62 by Dangel, 8.70 by Stephen Dubois. William Dangel still carrying a bit more speed. He's trying to transition that around Stephen Dubois. Look at how hard he's fighting that final corner. Hooks up so tight that inside, very quick coming out of that corner. Again, he's taking shorter strides. William Dangel taking longer strides. So before, the shorter strides of Stephen Dubois are quicker. But William Dangel works so hard, right? He has longer legs. But Stephen Dubois works so hard. Look at that. To get the launch on the line, and it gets this close. There was barely, almost nothing separating between those two skaters. But Stephen Dubois knew with the strategy he knows to go into this race, to win the race, kind of taking advantage of what he has control of, what is he capable of, and what are his limits, and what allows him to win the race. You know, it was so close, he could have still lost it. Here, William Dangel is moving faster here, 8.62 lap times, Stephen Dubois 8.70. But Stephen Dubois executes this strategy just absolute masterclass level and wins the 1000 meters in the World Championship by this margin right here. He becomes the world champion. What a race, just absolute masterclass. Just high quality stuff here in the men's 1000 meter A final in the World Championships in 2025. Such an honor to watch this race and analyze it. What a race by Stephen Dubois. He's such a great skater. Even today he's still skating. Such a fun skater to watch. He capped out the 500 meter gold in Milan, the Olympics. He really almost has nothing left to win in the sport. He'll be very interested in the Crystal Globe in the upcoming seasons. He's obviously not old really. He's still in his prime. And I'm looking forward to watching him next season. Such a strategic, such a clever skater. Very underrated. A lot of people talk about Stephen Dubois. But he's such a great skater. I think one of the greatest Canadian short track in the history of it. And very fun to watch as well, as I've said. And yeah, that's all I wanted to show you today. Stephen Dubois, the world champion here in Beijing 2025. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.